What's happening, Manhwa champions? Don't forget to leave your feedback and smash that like button. Now let's dive into this epic tale. The scene opens with a breathtaking view of the heavenly demon divine cult's inner sanctuary, its grand architecture bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. High-rising houses nestled between lush green trees stretch as far as the eye can see, their shadows elongating gracefully as the sun dips lower in the sky. Inside one of the grand structures, a man garbed in white robes steps quietly into a room. The air is thick with the scent of incense and the faint haze of pipe smoke. Across from him, another figure sits leisurely, a pipe in hand, exhaling wisps of smoke that curl and dance through the air. The man in white kneels immediately, one knee to the ground, his fist clenched tightly against his chest. His head bows low in respect. The divine teachings are unquestionable. All demons fall at your feet. I greet you, the 40th young lord of the divine cult, the man declares solemnly. The camera pans closer, revealing the figure smoking the pipe, his eyes obscured by a veil of smoke. His posture is relaxed, almost regal, as he inhales deeply before releasing another cloud of fragrant mist. Still kneeling, the man continues, voice steady and sure. I just felt his pulse for the third... He pauses, correcting himself with a smirk. I mean, Xiaoyang will die tonight. A cunning glint shines in his old eyes. The fourth young lord, seated before him, exhales a stream of smoke and responds simply, I see. The camera zooms out, revealing the vast room, silent, filled with shadows and secrets. The fourth young lord's thoughts swirl as he contemplates the news. Things are going better than I expected, he muses internally, his expression cool and calculating. The scene then shifts abruptly, diving back into the memories of Hajin's past. Bodies are sprawled across a blood-soaked battlefield, piled high and lifeless. Rain drizzles from the gray sky, pooling crimson on the rocky ground. Chun Hajin, are you done? A voice calls out. Among the bodies, a younger Chun Hajin responds firmly. Yes, I've killed everyone on this side. Perched atop a jagged rock formation, Hajin and his blue-haired comrade sit in silence. Let's take a rest then, the blue-haired man suggests, wiping sweat from his brow. Hajin nods, stretching his arms and catching his breath. You're right, Hajin agrees, his eyes scanning the carnage. But we can't rest too long. The leader said we can't be detected. His comrade reaches into his coat, pulling out a small object. Hajin eyes it curiously. Huh? What's that? The blue-haired man smiles faintly. You want to see? He extends his hand, revealing the object to Hajin. Hajin's eyes widen. A bird? A carving of a bird? He asks, gently taking it in his hand. Did you carve it? His friend nods thoughtfully. Hajin, aren't you tired of living as an assassin? He asks, his gaze distant, voice filled with longing. Hajin stares at him, confusion etched on his face. His friend's eyes remain fixed on the horizon. I'm going to get out of here, using any means necessary, and I'll live the rest of my life as free as a bird, he declares. Hajin's friend touches the hilt of his sword, voice resolute. I'll go down to the rural regions where I can smell fresh greenery instead of the stench of blood. Hajin's eyes light up with hope. I want to go too, he exclaims, voice filled with desperation. I want to go to the fresh green rural regions. His friend looks at him, his expression hardening. What? He asks, voice incredulous. You can't. Don't even think about it. Why not? Let's go together, Hajin presses. No, his friend snaps back harshly. Take me with you, Hajin insists. Shut up, his friend shouts, silencing him. Their voices fade into the rain, lingering over the battlefield of fallen warriors. Suddenly, another memory crashes into view. Hajin in the pouring rain, eyes wide with shock, blood streaming from a wound above his brow. He looks down at his fallen friend, the blue-haired comrade sprawled out lifelessly, eyes glazed over with finality. Rain mixes with blood, pooling beneath his body. What's wrong? Hajin cries out, panic evident in his voice. A dark, foreboding voice interrupts the moment. I saved your life and you forsake my mercy by trying to run away, the voice growls. Hajin turns sharply, his eyes filled with disbelief. Standing tall above him is a man draped in black, flanked by 4 others, their faces obscured by shadow. The leader's voice is cruel and unyielding. Take a good look. This is the end of all who betray the righteous heavenly alliance, he declares. The blood parasites in your bodies will relay judgment for your betrayal. The vision sharpens, revealing the blood parasites wrapped around the boy's heart, squeezing tightly, stealing the last breath from his lungs. Hajin's eyes widen in horror, frozen by the sight. Another memory bursts forth, the demon queen clutching his head, her voice echoing, "Oh no, I should pluck your head off too so you never utter anything else again." The grotesque image of her ripping his head from his shoulders flashes vividly. Back in the present, the boy lying on the luxurious bed suddenly bolts upright, drenched in sweat, eyes wide with shock. "Ah," he shouts, heart pounding. "What was that dream?" he whispers shakily. His eyes dart around the lavish room. "I was just beheaded by the demon queen." The camera zooms in, his expression frantic. Where is this place anyway, he wonders, glancing at the beautifully painted walls and ornate decorations. This room, it seems so luxurious. His gaze snaps to the door. His instincts sharpen. I sense someone, he thinks, eyes narrowing. The door opens gently and a woman enters, holding a tray with a bowl and chopsticks. Her steps are light, her presence almost delicate. "Young lord, it's Angwa," she calls out, her voice gentle. She looks toward the bed, but it's empty. "Huh? Young lord?" she whispers, confusion spreading across her face. In an instant, a chopstick is pressed firmly against her throat, held tightly by none other than Chun Hajin. "Shh," he whispers menacingly. "Do you know what will happen to you if you make a sound?" Her eyes widen in terror, her body stiffening under his grip. Young lord, it's me, your servant, Angwa," she stammers, eyes locked on the chopstick at her throat. "Why are you acting this way? Did something happen?" Hajin's grip tightens. "Stop with the nonsense and tell me the truth," he growls, gaze sharp and unyielding. "Who brought me here?" "Brought you here?" she echoes, confusion filling her eyes. "You've been here for a long time, young lord. You've been unconscious for 6 months due to chai blockage and only woke up 2 nights ago." Chun Hajin's eyes narrow in disbelief. "I died," he whispers under his breath. Not content with her answer, he demands again, "Stop fooling around and tell me the truth." Angwa shakes her head, trembling. "It's true," she insists. "You've been here." Hajin's gaze shifts to a mirror across the room. His breath catches. The reflection staring back is not his own. Who is this bastard?" he whispers. His hands tremble as memories of his death flood back. I was killed, decapitated by the demon queen." Staggering back, he whispers, What is this?" His mind swirls with questions, terror clinging to his every thought. Is this reincarnation? Angwa, his servant, stands frozen, her gaze fixed on him. "Young lord," she stammers, clutching the tray tightly to steady her shaking hands. Her expression is a mixture of shock and disbelief. Chun Hajin, now fully realizing the enormity of his situation, stumbles back, slamming hard against the wall. His eyes are wide with confusion as his mind races. "Then, where am I?" he whispers shakily. The wall he slammed into shudders slightly, causing the window behind him to crack open. Sunlight spills through the gap, illuminating his face with a warm glow. Chun turns slowly, his eyes squinting as he peers through the opening. His breath catches in his throat. Before him stretches a massive courtyard, lush with greenery and flanked by towering walls. His sanctuary lies in the center, basked in sunlight and surrounded by breathtaking architecture. His eyes widen in disbelief. How could a place like this exist in Murim? He wonders, his voice barely above a whisper. The camera zooms out, revealing the grandeur of the courtyard in its entirety. Far in the distance, 2 men are seen walking purposefully towards his sanctuary. Chun's gaze sharpens as he mutters, "And who are they?" As the 2 approach the grand window, Chun observes them more closely. One is clad in white robes, regal and pristine, while the other wears black robes with white trimmings, exuding an air of menace. The man in black stops, his eyes locking fiercely with Chun's through the window. Their stares collide with an intensity that sends a shiver down Chun's spine. Internally, Chun's thoughts whirl. Who is this? he questions, sweat beading on his brow as anxiety creeps into his expression. Without warning, the man in black drops to one knee with such force that the ground beneath him splinters, rocks scattering. His voice booms with fervor. The divine teachings are unquestionable. All demons fall at your feet. He clenches his fist against his palm, bowing deeply. Congratulations on your recovery, third young lord. Chun's mouth falls open, his eyes wide with disbelief. Divine teachings are what? He mutters, mind racing with questions. If it's a divine cult within Murim, the heavenly demon divine cult, the demon cult. His mind floods with uncertainty and confusion. The scene shifts abruptly. Heavy footsteps echo through an opulent corridor draped in golden curtains and lit by the warm glow of ornate lanterns. The floor is lined with a rich crimson carpet stretching endlessly toward an imposing throne. The camera sweeps overhead, capturing the grandiosity of the room as a figure moves purposefully along the carpet, head bowed slightly in reverence. He reaches the end, where another figure sits menacingly upon the throne, a bottle of wine resting casually beside him. The man kneels, fist to palm, his voice steady and strong. The divine teachings are unquestionable. All demons fall at your feet. The first royal god of the divine cult greets the demon lord. As the camera zooms in, the man is revealed as Mudam, the first royal god of the heavenly demon divine cult. Mudam kneels low, his head bowed deeply as he addresses the figure upon the throne. Shadows obscure the demon lord's face, but the faintest smirk is visible, a glimmer of menace in the dim light. What brings you here today? The demon lord inquires, his voice smooth yet edged with authority. Mudam, keeping his head bowed, answers with practiced humility. There is something I must report. Speak, the demon lord commands, voice reverberating through the grand hall. Mudam's voice remains steady. The third young lord has awakened. The demon lord shifts slightly, his elbow resting against the arm of his throne, chin perched thoughtfully on his fist. The third? He echoes, his tone questioning. Yes, however, Mudam continues as the camera pans to the beauty and opulence of the demon lord's inner sanctuary, illuminated softly by golden light. He has lost all his martial prowess from overexertion. The words hang heavy in the air. The demon lord's gaze sharpens, but his posture remains relaxed. And what would you like to do with the third young lord? Mudam asks cautiously, head still bowed, eyes locked firmly on the red carpet. The demon lord, his face still resting against his fist, is silent for a moment. Then suddenly, his voice booms through the hall. First royal god, he shouts, the sheer intensity of his voice sending shockwaves through the room. Mudam clenches his fists against the carpet to steady himself as the demon lord's power ripples through the air. Candles flicker wildly from the sheer force of his command. Speak your will, my lord, Mudam responds, his voice steady despite the violent energy surging around him. The demon lord slowly raises his hand, his expression unchanging. Until the closing ceremony in 3 months, do not provide me with any further reports. His eyes flash a chilling red, illuminating the shadows of his face, revealing the sheer magnitude of his power. Then, just as quickly, the light vanishes, his face slipping back into the darkness. Mudam, still bowed, looks up cautiously, taking in the demon lord's expression. He bows deeply before rising. I sincerely hope that you may accomplish the great deed, he says with unwavering respect, head bowed to the floor. The demon lord merely waves him off dismissively, his gaze turning back to the shadows as if the matter had never existed. This brings us to the end of chapter 3. Our protagonist, Chun Hajin, has now transmigrated into the body of the third young lord of the demon cult. What fate awaits him now that he finds himself entangled within the most powerful sect in Murim? Find out in the next episode. But before you go, don't forget to tap like if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe for more epic recaps, turn on notifications so you never miss a chapter. And with that being said, Manhwa champions, we're going to bring this video to an end. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will catch you all later. Peace.